Welcome to the most basic tutorial for networkers. Understand about OSI model is one of the most important tools to help you grasp most networking devices like router, switch, PC, and others. When two people communicate via mail, first the writer must write the letter, insert it into the envelope, while the receiver must first open the envelope and then read the mail. The next slide shows the whole process of sending and receiving information. Map of India. Write a letter in English and send it to Bob in Germany. He tells his assistant to deliver it to Germany. So I will send your letter by mail. Bob is German, so I'll translate it in German and style it in email format. Then session layer. It makes the connection. So I'll make call and check the availability and monitor during transmission and terminate it at the end. Then the transport layer. With flow control, I can control speed. I can also break and mail and into small parts and require our partners to acknowledge upon receiving TCP. Uh, then network layer comes. I will write our address and our partner address on each part. Data link layer. I will add our unique ID in the word and the most and local post office ID for the smooth delivery by mailman. Then the physical layer. As if mail is urgent, I will send it by plane. Then the physical layer on the receiver side. Yeah, I receive a message. Then the data link layer. It is also for us. Uh, I will cross check it. Then the network layer. It's okay for Mac. Now transport layer. Now I will reorder the mail, rearrange the mail, and acknowledge them, and that I have received the mail successfully. Then the session layer comes. Now mail has been received, so I terminate this connection. Then the presentation layer. Now I can format it so that Bob can understand. Then the application layer. It's a mail. I will use suitable service for it. Good job, assistant. These are 7 layers. To learn it, make it easy. All people seems to need data presentation. First letter to learn it easily. Now I will discuss about layer 7, application layer. This is the closest layer to the end user. Telnet, FTP, file transfer protocol, email, SMTP, hypertext, HTTP are the example of application layer. Then comes the presentation layer. This layer ensures the presentation of data. For example, you want to send an email and the presentation will be format your data into email format, or you want to send photo to your friend, presentation will format your data into GIF, GIF, JPG or PNG format. Then the session layer comes. This is layer 5 layer. Establish, maintain and end communication with the receiving device. Then comes the transport layer, layer 4. This layer maintains the flow control of data and provides for the error checking and recovery of data between the device. The most common example are TCP, transport layer in transmission control protocol, and user data protocol UDP. This TCP is reliable and UDP is not reliable, connectionless. But in automation, UDP is mostly used. Then comes the network layer. This is layer 3. This layer provides the IP address of the source and destination, which router will use it to determine the path of the destination. The router is connected to in this layer. Then comes the data link layer. This is the layer 2. Data link layer format the message into data frame and the adds the header containing the hardware destination and source address, MAC address, which is 48 bit, 48 bit address, 6 byte, which is burned into the NIC card of the device by the manufacturer. This header is responsible for finding the next destination device on the local area network. Notice that layer 3, the network layer, is responsible for finding the path to the last destination network, but it doesn't care about who will be the next receiver. It is the layer 2, this data link layer, that helps the data to reach the next destination. Then is physical layer. This is the layer 1. The layer 1 defines the physical characteristics of the network, such as connection, voltage level, and timing. When the information goes down through the layers from top to bottom, the header is added to it. This is called encapsulation because it is like wrapping an object in the capsule. Each header can be understood only by the corresponding layer at the receiving side. The other layer only see the layer header as a part of data. At the receiving side, the corresponding header is shipped off in the same layer. It was attached. This process is called decapsulation. Physical layer. Here hubs and repeaters are there. Physical connection is there. Hub. There is comes the local area. The switch and bridges are there. Frames are there. MAC address. Yeah, I had IP address is the IP version 6 and 4. Routers are connected. This is TCP, connection oriented, and UDP, connectionless. This TCP is uh, reliable and UDP is not reliable. But in automation, UDP is used. This is session which maintains this session connection between the two. SQL, RCP. Then the presentation, which is the video or audio or bitmap application. This is closest to the user interface. HTTP, FTP, TFTP, Telnet, SNMP. This is application. The user interface is there. Presentation, data presentation, encryption, decryption, session, setup, monitor and terminate the connection, transport, flow control, reliable and reliable, and the network is path determination, um, IP, IP address is there, routers, data link layer, physical layer address, MAC address, um, bridges, and switches, physical layer, uh, encodes and transmit data. Here you can see the application layer, all the protocols, data is there. Presentation, data presentation, encryption, decryption, video, audio, bitmap, session, setup and monitor terminate connection, SQL, RIP, data. Transport layer, in transport layer, flow control, buffering, window congestion. This by TCP we can rearrange this one. Loss of segment on the network is recent, need to be transmitted. TCP is there. UDP is connectionless in this, and no retransmission is possible. Mm, but UDP is fast than TCP. Network, mm, network is IP. Routers are there. In data link layer, our switches work here with MAC address. Physical layer, Ethernet. This is OSI model. Now comparing with TCP IP model. This here application layer is connected to transport, internet, and they are merged into network interface. This summary is OSI model, TCP IP model. It is theoretical and educational, but this real world application is with TCP IP model. No specific protocol. Here it is HTTP, TCP, IP, FTP, UDP. all the application, automation, reliable layers, layers operation. Thanks for watching this video. Please like, subscribe for more videos.